Some riders chase pure speed. Others want the kind of bike that turns heads at every stoplight. But the smartest, most experienced riders? They know the real secret: how to keep their motorcycles running perfectly and save a lot of money while doing it. In this video, I'm going to break down 10 uncommon but essential motorcycle tips, the kind that separate casual riders from those who really understand their machines. And believe me, if you don't know these, you're already behind. Tip 1. Don't skip warm-ups. Most riders start their bike, give the throttle a quick twist, and take off. What they don't realize is this habit is quietly damaging the engine. Here's why. When oil is cold, it moves slowly, thick and sluggish, especially on chilly mornings. For those first few seconds, your engine parts are running with poor lubrication. And every single time you do this, you're creating tiny amounts of wear inside your motor. Over the years, that adds up to serious damage. The solution is simple. Let the bike idle for at least 30 seconds before riding. But here's the real trick. Don't just sit there. Ride gently for the first few minutes. This allows the oil to reach full operating temperature and circulate properly. The result? Smoother gear shifts, a cleaner running engine, and a motor that lasts years longer. It doesn't cost you a dime, but it could save you thousands in repairs. Smart riders already do this. Do you? Tip 2. Fix your chain tension. Now here's a big one. Even seasoned riders often get it wrong. Chain tension. If your chain is too tight, you're grinding down sprockets and putting unnecessary stress on your transmission. If it's too loose, you'll notice sloppy shifting and run the risk of the chain snapping or even derailing mid-ride. But here's what most people never think about: your suspension. As it moves up and down, the angle of your chain constantly changes. If it's too tight, it can't flex naturally. That strain gets transferred straight to your bearings and transmission shaft, which leads to oil leaks, harsh shifting, and in extreme cases, even cracked engine cases. To avoid that, always check your chain slack with someone sitting on the bike or by using a strap to simulate rider weight. And don't forget, chains stretch. If you ride hard or carry passengers often, it stretches even faster. Ignore it, and you're looking at $300–600 for a chain and sprockets, or even $800+ if you damage seals or bearings. A quick check saves a mountain of cash. Check your chain every month. That simple habit alone can save you a fortune. Tip 3. Don't overinflate your tires. Most riders worry about low tire pressure. But the real danger? Too much air. When your tires are overinflated, they stiffen up and lose the ability to absorb bumps. That shock goes straight into your wheels, bearings, forks, and frame. Over time, the damage adds up fast. And here's something most people forget. Tire pressure changes with temperature. For every 10-degree F rise, pressure climbs by about 1 psi. So if you top off your tires on a cold morning, by the afternoon heat, you could be riding on dangerously overpressurized rubber. That means a smaller contact patch, less grip, weaker braking, and extra strain on your suspension. The fix: always check tire pressure when the tires are cold and use a quality gauge. Don't eyeball it. Don't trust those worn-out gas station pumps. And most importantly, stick to your factory specs. They're based on real testing, not random numbers. Tip 4. Your clutch might be fine. Ever twist the throttle and feel like your clutch is slipping? The bike doesn't pull like it should, so you assume it's time for a replacement. But here's the truth. Most of the time, your clutch isn't the problem. It's the clutch cables naturally stretch as you ride. Or sometimes, someone adjusts it too tight without leaving the right slack. If your clutch lever doesn't have at least 2 to 3 mm of free play, that means you're basically riding with the clutch slightly engaged all the time. That burns out your clutch plates way faster than normal. The good news: fixing it takes 5 minutes. No fancy tools required. Just check and adjust your cable once a month, and you can literally double the life of your clutch. And if your bike runs a hydraulic clutch, don't ignore the fluid. Old fluid absorbs moisture, loses pressure, and makes it feel like the clutch is slipping, even when the plates are perfectly fine. A quick fluid change often solves it. Tip 5. Don't forget your coolant. Here's a hidden danger most riders overlook. Coolant doesn't just stop your bike from overheating, it also protects your engine from the inside. But as coolant gets old, it turns acidic. That acid slowly eats away at aluminum parts, water pumps, and even cylinder heads. Even if your temperature gauge looks fine, your engine could still be in trouble. By the time you notice something's wrong, you might already be dealing with a blown head gasket or a leaking water pump. Solution: change your coolant every 2 years. Or sooner if you ride hard, live in a hot climate, or spot debris in your overflow tank. Use a test strip if you're unsure about its condition. And one golden rule: never mix different coolant types. Mixing green, orange or blue can create a thick gel that clogs your radiator and causes catastrophic overheating. Always stick to one type, and if you need to mix, only use clean distilled water. Tip 6. Dirty air filters can kill your engine. This one's sneaky. A clogged air filter doesn't just choke horsepower, it also messes with your air-fuel ratio, making the engine run hotter. That extra heat punishes your exhaust valves, and if they stay overheated long enough, they can warp or even burn. Look out for warning signs like rough idling, stalling, backfires, and in the worst cases, total valve failure. The fix is cheap. Air filters cost next to nothing. Replace them regularly. And if you ride in dusty, dirty, or wet conditions, check them more often than your manual recommends. Off-road riders, inspect it weekly. It's a 5-minute job that could save you thousands in engine repairs. Tip 7. Don't ignore your fork oil. Here's a maintenance item almost nobody talks about: fork oil. Most riders assume suspension only wears out with miles or aggressive riding, but the oil inside your forks breaks down over time. When that happens, your suspension loses its ability to absorb bumps. Your forks dive hard under braking, and your fork seals wear out way faster. Ignore it too long, and you'll notice sloppy handling, sketchy braking, and eventually leaking fork seals. And fork seal jobs aren't cheap. You're looking at $200 to $400 in parts and labor, depending on your bike. The smart move: change fork oil every 10,000 to 15,000 miles. Do that, and your suspension will feel brand new while avoiding costly problems down the road. Bonus tip: if your bike starts to wobble in turns or feels vague under braking, don't panic. Check your fork oil. Chances are it's time for a change. Tip 8. Not all brake pads are created equal. Let's talk stopping power. A lot of riders cheap out on brake pads, and it's a massive mistake. Cheap no-name pads, especially the kind you find on eBay, are often too hard. That means they grind down your rotors way faster than you'd ever expect. And replacing rotors, that's $300 plus per rotor plus labor. The fix is simple: choose pads suited to your riding style. Organic pads, great for smooth city riding, with strong stopping power at lower temps. Sintered or semi-metallic pads, better for aggressive riding and high-speed braking because they handle heat way better. And don't assume the most expensive pad is automatically the best. Match the pad to your rotors, riding style, and environment. Good pads give you stronger braking feel and protect your rotors. Bad ones? They ruin them and risk your safety. Tip 9. Your spark plugs are talking to you. Most riders ignore spark plugs until something goes wrong. But here's the truth. Spark plugs are like an engine health report. Black sooty plugs: you're running rich, too much fuel. White chalky plugs: you're running lean, not enough fuel, which risks overheating. Oily deposits could mean valve seals are leaking, letting oil slip into the combustion chamber. Check your plugs every 5,000 miles. They can warn you about problems long before a warning light ever appears. Plus, fresh plugs keep your bike starting easier, idling smoother, and running cleaner. Remember, spark plugs don't just make sparks. They tell the story of what's happening inside your engine. Tip 10. The truth about fuel additives. Finally, let's bust a huge myth. The motorcycle world is flooded with fuel additives, cleaners, and octane boosters that claim to give you more power and a cleaner engine. Here's the reality. Modern fuel already comes blended with detergents designed to keep your injectors and valves clean. For most riders, additives do almost nothing noticeable. Are there exceptions? Sure. If your bike sits for long periods, a stabilizer can help prevent fuel breakdown. And if you ride in areas with poor quality gas, a cleaner now and then can help. But if you're pouring in bottles of miracle juice after every fill-up, you're mostly just burning money. The real key to performance isn't in a bottle, it's in regular maintenance, quality fuel, and following the tips we just covered. The truth about fuel additives. Here's the truth. Most of them are overpriced snake oil. Unless your fuel injectors are actually clogged, you don't need them. The best thing you can do for your fuel system is simple. Use top-tier gasoline from major brands like Shell, Chevron, or Mobil. These fuels already contain detergents designed to keep injectors clean and reduce carbon buildup. In fact, tests have shown that consistently using good gas keeps your engine cleaner than any additive you'll find at a gas station. If you do need an additive, stick to proven names like Techron or Seafoam and use them sparingly. Overusing additives can actually foul your spark plugs or even damage sensors. Bonus tip. Your helmet might be lying to you. Here's something most riders never think about. Your helmet might look perfectly fine on the outside, but it may not be protecting you the way it should. Helmets aren't meant to last forever. Even if you've never crashed, the foam inside slowly breaks down from heat, sweat, UV rays, and age. Research shows that after 5 years, helmets lose a noticeable amount of impact protection. By 7 years, the difference is dramatic, yet many riders keep using them, thinking, hey, it still looks new. The problem is, when you actually need it, it might not perform the way it was designed to. Do yourself a favor. Check the manufacturer date on the tag inside your helmet. If it's over 5 years old, start shopping for a new one. And if you ride daily or leave your helmet in the sun often, replace it even sooner. It's one of the most important pieces of gear you'll ever own, and the one that could save your life. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of 90% of riders out there, because anyone can twist a throttle and look cool at a stoplight. But it's the riders who understand the little details, the hidden habits and small adjustments, who keep their bikes running better, safer and longer. If even one of these tips was new to you, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. I've got plenty more untold tips, buyer's guides, and hard-learned lessons coming your way. And hey, drop a comment below. Let me know which of these tips surprised you the most, or share the underrated bike advice you swear by. I read every single comment, and your feedback shapes the next videos. Ride safe, ride smart, and I'll catch you in the next one.